What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to week 13 of the UCL. This week we're going up against Caden, and yeah, if you haven't seen my team building video, be sure to check that out right now, because like every week, I put a lot of thought into which team members I bring, and it's really important to team prep in this sort of league, this sort of format. And he's got some threats. You know, I do think his team composition is one of his weaker points. That being said, I know he's a battler who really wants to win, and he's definitely got the brains behind the team. So we're gonna see what he brought. He's definitely got some threats, and I know he likes to lead off for them. So let's see what gets going. All right, so I'm surprised there's no Raikou and there's no Megalopony, because Heatran's Protect is partially for Megalopony, and Heatran is pretty much there for Megalopony. It'll be helpful in dealing with Skarmory. I'm surprised he brought Gligar, and he brought Tyrantrum and Delphox. He's probably Dragon Dance, Tyrantrum, Scarf, Delphox, modest offensive Lapras. He might have brought Block and Parasong. Interestingly enough, Dugtrio is really only helpful for Tyrantrum and Delphox. Outside of that, not too incredibly helpful. Hitmonlee can have some fun this game. That is for sure. So the question is, what do I lead with? What does he lead with? He likes to lead with threats. In the past, he's led with Gligar once before. He's led with Tyrantrum and just Dragon Danced on turn 1 before. He might lead with Skarmory and just try and set up spikes. I'm going to lead off with Dugtrio, and I think he's going to lead off with Delphox or Tyrantrum, to be honest. The only setup mon on his team is Tyrantrum, and he typically likes to lead with something like that. He also has led with Lapras a couple times, so that's an interesting aspect as well. My Dugtrio does beat Lapras 1v1, so that's also worth noting. I could just lead Jirachi on the other hand. Jirachi definitely isn't a bad lead. I actually like that better. Yeah, let's lead with Jirachi. It Iron Heads Gardevoir, it Iron Heads Lapras, it Iron Heads Tyrantrum, and the only thing it doesn't do a lot to is Delphox. So he traced my Serene Grace, so whatever he goes for, it's going to do, it's going to have double the likelihood of, what's it called, secondary effects. I'm not going to mess around with predictions too much in this game. I'm just going to Iron Head what's in front of me. Although this should be pretty obvious. He is a Wish Protect set though, or he has run like bulky support sets in the past. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he had Wish and Protect and instead went for Protect to Scout. He could just go into Skarmory or Gligar here. Gligar's going to take like 20%, Skarmory's going to take like 5 to 10%, and it might be Leftovers or Rocky Helmet. The thing is, if he goes into Skarmory, I can just bring in my Heatran pretty safely. But regardless, Iron Head, I think it's my better play. How much does U-turn do? Let's check here with our handy-dandy calculator. Alright, if he's a support set, Iron Head does a lot still. Yeah, I still think Iron Head is the way to go. He goes into this. Interesting, which means he's probably not, what's it called, Rocky Helmet Skarmory. So that's worth noting. He could taunt, he could knock off here. I think knockoff is his better play. Gligar's typically run Earthquake, U-turn. I know in the past, he's might have Roost, Defog, Earthquake. This is to Jirachi, obviously. My Mega Altaria is not going to take like anything from this and can actually set up on it. So the play might be to go into that, because I think Earthquake is his like obvious play here. And I would take no damage from that the first turn I switch in anyways. Question is, does Gligar get knockoff? It does. The question is he running it? I'm just gonna go into Altaria here. He gets up his rocks. Okay. So we Mega Evolve and we Dragon Dance here. Or does he go into Skarmory right away? He could just go into Skarmory right away, which I would not be surprised if he did. I don't know if I want to mess around with... what's it called? He might Earthquake for damage, but I think Skarmory is definitely his best play here. The in-between play would be going into Suicune. I don't think he has knockoff. What does Gligar typically run? The Stealth Rock set, Standard, Rocks, EQ, Roost, T-Fog, or U-Turn. Yeah, I'm gonna go into Suicune here. If he goes into Skarmory, that's fine. He went right into this. That's surprising. So it is kind of bad that he got up his rocks, because I can't just go into Dugtrio here. But what I can do is go into Jirachi on probably the block or the Freeze Dry. Or the Thunderbolt, maybe. I could go into Hitmonlee. I'm surprised he hasn't gone into Skarmory yet. Jirachi takes hits pretty well. I need to keep Hitmonlee. Do I need to keep Hitmonlee that healthy? No, not really. Yeah, I'm gonna go into Jirachi here. On potentially the Freeze Dry. Don't freeze. Gotta love it. Gotta love that. So that's a thing. Now what do we do? Is the real question. What does he do? He could go for a block, he could go for Freeze Dry again, he could go for Hydro Pump. It's almost ironic. I don't get it, to be honest. Oh, because of Serene Grace usually hacking people away, etc. I went into this because it would take a Freeze Dry really well, not for any other reason. Now what does he go into? I might just try and burn a turn of sleep here because this Jirachi could be really helpful later on. I'm tempted to switch into Hitmonlee. I take a Hydro Pump. The thing is, he could obviously switch into something else and then like I get worn down a lot, so I'm just gonna Iron Head here. He should probably go into Delphox here. Yeah, he should probably go into Delphox. Or Skarmory, and you can set up hazards or something like that. He stays in, goes for Hydro Pump and misses at least. Iron Head does a decent amount of damage, I think, to this. Yeah, Iron Head does a good amount. Hydro Pump is going to do a good amount to me, but I'm going to keep Iron Heading away. He goes for Surf. So Hydro Pump will KO on this turn. This sucks. This sucks. Because Jirachi's really helpful against Gardevoir, really helpful against Tyrantrum. But That just means Hitmonlee becomes that much more important. And I can go into Hitmonlee after this and click Close Combat. But yeah, this is actually pretty bad. Unfortunately. Because for Dugtrio to counter Lapras, I need those rocks to be gone. Unless I get a nice Dragon Dance up. Unless I get rocks up and a Dragon Dance up with Altaria, I don't think I can really take out this Lapras that easily. I think +1 return does a lot of damage, but maybe not enough. Yeah, I definitely need rocks up. And I think it's like a 60% chance to KO. Yeah. So we finally thaw, and we got our Iron Heads going, so... Now does he go into Skarmory? No, why isn't he going into Skarmory? I'm really surprised he's not going into Skarm. He should probably switch out now. Justice is served. If he wants to keep this thing alive, which I think he does, because it's a Suicune counter. Otherwise, Suicune kind of runs away with this game, so he should probably switch. Maybe into Gligar? Gligar or Skarmory? I'm really curious as to why he's not going into Skarmory. If it was Rocky Helmet, he definitely would have gone into it by now. But, I don't know why he's so hesitant to go into it. 10% chance to freeze the target, whereas there's a 21.6% chance of me flinching 3 times in a row. There it is. Okay, so he has leftovers. Now the question is, does he Whirlwind or does he set up with Spikes? I'm going to take this opportunity to go into my Heatran. He might see that coming, but I want to set up my Stealth Rock and potentially pressure him to defog away my... why is he Iron Heading? And potentially get rid of my Stealth Rock. So, what does he go into here on the Lava Plume? Maybe Gligar? Either way, I want to get up my rocks. He stays in. Whirlwinds me out. Okay. Fair enough. We beat this. That is... I think he switches into Lapras here on the Skull to try to heal up. Does Lapras die from Stealth Rock? What health is it at? 16%. So I think so. Yeah, Lapras dies upon switching, so I can just calm... No, I Scald here. And hopefully get a burn. Oh, and he defogs away the rocks. That's nice for my Dugtrio. So now he goes into... I'm still at 100% HP. So now he goes into Lapras. And I go into Dugtrio. And I trap and kill that. Why did he roost? Are you kidding me? Come on. Okay, well, I'll go back into... He can switch out too because he's flying type. So he might go into Lapras? I don't know what he's thinking. I shouldn't have tried to predict, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just going to go back into Heatran here. He's probably going to set up his Stealth Rock again. I'm very confused by this. I'm going to set up my Stealth Rock again. I thought like Lapras was definitely the play there. And so here's Suicune again. I get another opportunity to Scald. Yeah, I'm very confused as to why he's not switching into Lapras when there are no rocks on my assumed Scald. What are Lapras's other abilities? They've got to be worse than Water Absorb. Hydration, Water Absorb, Shell Armor. Shell Armor means you can't get crit. Hydration means in the rain you don't get, at the end of each turn you lose your, if you have a status it goes away. So like Water Absorb is definitely more important on my team at least. Or against my team. I'm gonna go right into Heatran. I think I outspeed Lapras anyways. Yeah, I do. Unless it's, what if he's running 252 speed? Okay, if he's max speed, that could be bad. But I'm gonna switch into Heatran right away here on the Lapras. Okay, I think my Lava Plume KOs actually. Lava Plume is 25%. This is against an offensive Lapras though. I don't think... Well, given he has Hydro Pump and Surf, he's probably offensive. Even then, he actually still doesn't KO me, which is kind of crazy. But I'll just Lava Plume here. What does he go into? Gardevoir, maybe? Does he risk his Tyrantrum getting burnt by Lava Plume? The beauty is, if he goes into Tyrantrum and kills something, I can kill it with my Dugtrio. Especially after Lava Plume damage, even though it's quadruply resisted. He also doesn't know if I have Flash Cannon or not, which would be super effective against Tyrantrum. Also, Tyrantrum typically runs Superpower, which would do 60 to 70% against my Heatran, as opposed to running Earthquake, so... I don't exactly know what he's going to go for here. I don't think he fine-tunes his EVs very much, so he's probably a standard Smogon set for Lapras. Which means he's probably the modest slow set, which means I would outspeed him. He goes into this. Interesting. Which means he's probably running Focus Blast. I think he typically runs this as Scarf. I'm gonna Protect. See what he's got. If he's Scarf, he actually might try and trick me. So, especially if I go into Suicune here. He also might reveal the Grass Knot. If he tricks, if he goes for Fire move, if he goes for Focus Blast, I can just switch into Altaria for free. So let's see what he goes for. Shadow Ball. Interesting. I think I take that pretty well. I don't think either of these sets typically runs Shadow Ball. So yeah, so that doesn't really tell me too much. How much would a Choice Scarf Shadow Ball do? Not a lot. How much would a Choice Specs Shadow Ball do? Not a lot either. So what I can actually do is Toxic here. Or do I get on my Rocks? I'm gonna get on my Rocks. Or do I just Toxic? He's not going to stay in, I don't think, because he might expect me to have Earth Power, but he's also going to be doing, like, no damage. So he's probably going to switch here. He's not going to switch into Skarmory. I'm going to Toxic. I think he has to go into Gligar here. Or he's going to want to go into Gligar here. If he goes into Tyrantrum, though, it could be really bad if I just get up my Stealth Rock and that thing is at 100% HP. So that did 18%. Whoa, weird animation bluff there, or something there. So he goes for Shadow Ball, so maybe he Specs? Or no, that was just a high roll, so maybe he's Modest Choice Scarf. He's probably Modest Choice Scarf this. So what I can actually do here is Stealth Rock. Shadow Ball does have a 20% chance, I think, maybe 10% chance to get a special defense drop, which could play a role, but yeah, 20% chance, which is not bad. So I get up my Rocks as he goes into this. He probably doesn't think that I have Flash Cannon, and he's probably just going to Dragon Dance here. Because he's Scarf Delphox, he's probably Dragon Dance this, which is kind of bad. If he Dragon Dances here, what does Tyrantrum typically run? I might have to play aggressive here. I do outspeed him with Hitmonlee. What does Tyrantrum Dragon Dance typically run? If he's Dragon Dance, he has one less coverage move, but he might be running Earthquake. But I don't think he'd go for it immediately. Let's see. I outspeed this and I OHKO it. So if he goes for Earthquake, if he goes for Dragon Dance, we can KO it still, I think. Mega Altaria might live a +1 head smash. That sounds really bad. I don't think so. Yeah, we would not live a +1 head smash. I think he might expect the Protect. I think he's going to Dragon Dance here. I really think he's going to Dragon Dance here. It's just that it's pretty risky if I go into Hitmonlee here. We're going to go for it, though. I think an Earthquake would KO me. But he might expect the Protect. And go for Dragon Dance. Actually, wait. I could switch into Suicune. Suicune might be the play. I don't take a ton from Head Smash. I definitely wouldn't take a lot from Earthquake. At plus, if he Dragon Dances here, though, that only gives us one shot to Scald Burn him, though, which is not good. Especially because it does. Especially because Suicune does so well against the rest of his team. Actually, yeah, this should be fine because I still have Jirachi live. Hitmonlee is the play here. If he kills me, that's fine because then my Dugtrio beats it. Oh, and he just went straight for it. Wow. I'm surprised I lived that, actually. Head Smash recoil is really helpful. I don't know if that puts him in knockoff range yet or not, but he might go into Gligar here. Because he just went straight for the Head Smash and not an Earthquake or anything like that, makes me think he might be Scarf. If he is Scarf, he'll probably stay in and Scout. How much does knockoff do? I'm surprised Hitmonlee took that. Wow. Could be because that little HP EV investment I gave it. Knockoff is not going to do enough. We're just going to safely close combat here. If he switches out, actually I don't know. I don't know what I can really learn from this decision on his end to go for Head Smash right away. Maybe he doesn't have Earthquake. Head Smash does a lot, but it wouldn't have KO'd Heatran, that's for sure. He probably doesn't want to go into Gligar. Gligar's going to take rocks. He goes right into this. Wow. So that's going to take 22%. My Poison, if I had Poison Jab, that would be a dead Gardevoir. It's also bulky Gardevoir, which is good to know. Which means Suicune walls it, I think. He's probably going to Wish here and maybe try to heal up his Tyrantrum. I could start Calm Minding up, though. I'm going to go into Suicune. He might also be an offensive variant that goes for Calm Mind or something like that. Oh, wow. 36%. That is strong. But he's also running Psychic, which is good to know because it means even if he boosts up, I can start Calm Minding. He probably outspeeds me, but Psychic, 35%. Yeah, I can definitely start Calm Minding here. I also outspeed him, which is worth noting. Moonblast, that might lower my... That has a 10% chance to lower my special attack, but, like, I can... Moonblast after Calm Mind. Before, Calm Mind would do 36%, so a crit would do 54%. So I want to risk that? Or does he just switch out now? Nothing on his team deals with this well. I think he goes into Skarmory here, actually. I could just click Scald. Especially because I outspeed, I could take a Moonblast and then rest before anything else. Lapras dies upon switching, Gligar dies to a Scald, Delphox dies to Scald. At +1, I think Tyrantrum takes like 80 or so % from Scald. Skarmory is going to take around 50-ish % and might get burnt. And if he switches into that on the Scald, he can't Whirlwind me out because Whirlwind is a -6 priority move. So it doesn't matter how fast he is, my Scald would hit him beforehand anyways if he tried to Whirlwind me out. So, yeah. I'm gonna hope he switches here, and he just might go into, like maybe a Scarf Delphox with Grass Knot, or he might go into Tyrantrum, needing to get like an Outrage off or something. I'm surprised he stayed in, wow. Psychic to 27%, yikes. Okay, so this is the turn I rest. Yeah, I definitely rest this turn. I probably could take another Psychic, but I don't want to risk. Psychic has a chance to lower special defense, and he probably knows that I'm going to rest this turn and can switch out. That being said, I don't want to risk it because Suicune does so well against the rest of his team. He also really needs to get rid of rocks so that Lapras can do well. I'm really tempted to go into Heatran. It takes Moonblast and Psychics really well. Although he's showing offense, he might be running Focus Blast. I actually know, Rest is the safe play. I'm just going to stick with the safe play. He can go into Skarmory here if he wants to, and on the next turn he can defog away my hazards so that Lapras can come in on Suicune. I can try to Sleep Talk that one turn that he goes for a defog, and then I can probably go into Heatran, because I'm pretty sure I outspeed his Lapras based on his decision the last time it was Lapras versus Heatran. Also, you guys were complaining, you guys as in like people in the chat, complaining when I played Sam and it took 21 turns or so to like have the first Pokemon death. This is turn 28 and no one has died yet. Good stuff to Caden. This has been a good battle. If he's going to switch out, this is probably the turn to do so, even though Skarmory would take a lot of damage if I Scalded. But Scalding is definitely the risky play. Especially because with Psychic. There it is, turn 28, still no deaths. But he needs to get rocks away, or my Suicune pretty much wins. Once it's healthy, of course. Because Tyrantrum went for Head Smash and then just immediately switched out, I feel like it might be Dragon Dance, but, or not Dragon Dance, Scarf, or Band. It might be Banded, and that would explain why he went for Head Smash. Let's see here. How much would a Banded, Tyrantrum's Head Smash do? That's a strong move. Earthquake would do a lot. Head Smash might KO. So he might be running a Banded Tyrantrum, which, if that's the case, my Suicune will not deal with it. So I'm going to Sleep Talk again here. He wants to try and beat this 1v1, I guess. Hoping for a Spadef drop. He's not going to get it. We have one more Sleep Talk turn. Hopefully we get a Calm Mind or a Scald. That would be really nice. He's also running out of Psychics. Yeah, he's only got, well, if he's going to use them against Suicune, he's got 4 left because of my ability Pressure. Hopefully we get a Calm Mind with this Sleep Talk. That would be really nice. That would make me a lot more comfortable with taking this on 1v1. Yes. Moonblast. Alright, so we wake up the next turn. The question is, Scald or Calm Mind or Rest? I think I have to Scald. Because if I Calm Mind and he goes into Tyrantrum, I just die. So yeah, I Scald this turn. And my Scald is going to be doing a lot of damage. And if we get a burn, that puts this thing on a timer. Which would be nice. And then I'll probably rest on the next turn. If he goes for Moonblast, he's trying to lower my special attack. If he goes for Psychic, he's trying to lower my special defense with the potential secondary effects. I think his plan is to sacrifice this Gardevoir and then go into Skarmory and Whirlwind me out. Huh. If that's the case, I think I need to be at +3 or 4 before I take that on. He's definitely not this, because I think my skull did like 30-something%. Yeah, so what do I need to be at? +3? After rocks? Yeah. So I think the play is actually Calm Mind. Yeah, because I think he wants to kill this, or he wants me to kill Gardevoir so he can go into Skarmory and live 1+2 Scald, and then Whirlwind me out. But if I'm +3, he can't do that, and then I just win. I think I should. Hopefully that's the case. Man, this battle's been going for a while too. Duh. I don't want to risk him switching into Tyrantrum this turn though. Yeah, that would be worse. If worst case scenario, if he goes into Skarmory and Whirlwinds me out, I can go into Heatran. So this is the safer play. Of course, I'm playing safe. But I also feel like I'm in a bit of a lead at this point, even though it's 6-6 Pokemon-wise. My Suicune is putting in a lot of work. His Lapras is almost dead. I've figured out a lot about his team, and I think my Suicune does well against it. Obviously, my Hitmonlee is almost dead. My Jirachi is at like half HP. But to be frank, the HP on those Pokemon doesn't really matter because they're not supposed to tank hits. They're just supposed to hit and kill before they get hit. So like, you know. I'm just gonna cut to when he finally makes a decision. Oh, and he finally decided on something. He goes for the Moonblast. Okay, so Scald, he's pretty lowered. I rest here because then I have a chance to live a Choice Banded Head Smash from Tyrantrum and go for Scald the next turn. So yeah, we just rest here. He goes for Protect. He goes for Protect as I rest. Okay. He maybe wanted to get back some leftovers HP, so maybe his mentality isn't to sacrifice this. Interesting. Well, I can Sleep Talk again now. He switches into this. This does not take a Scald well. Yes! That is gone, and my rocks are here to stay. I think his only play is to go into Tyrantrum here and hope for a really strong hit. I mean, to be frank, I was planning on the Skarm at some point, but like, the safer play would have been to sacrifice your Gardevoir and go into Skarmory, because then you could defog the hazards at least, and then go into Lapras. So Caden, if you do watch this battle, that was probably the better move to make. And you know how I feel about luck. But like, anyways, what is his play now? I think, well, his Gardevoir can't beat me 1v1, his Delphox cannot beat me 1v1, his Gligar cannot beat me 1v1, his Lapras dies. His Lapras is dead now. I don't have to worry about it. As soon as it switches in, it's dead. Tyrantrum is really his only play, and I think if he's Dragon Dance, he needs to pray that I don't get a Scald and Dragon Dance up and go for Outrage. Or Head Smashes. But as we both know, Head Smash is, he's only at like 60% health anyways. If he KOs this with Head Smash, he's gonna like be so close to death anyways. He's also in range of Jirachi's Iron Head at this point with Tyrantrum, so I could easily just sack something too. He's also in range of Earthquake from Dugtrio, so if he kills anything with Tyrantrum, it just dies. So yeah, I really think Tyrantrum's his only play. If he's Choice Banded, he's got to hit me with Head Smash and hope for the best. How did I get here 40 minutes late and the battle is still going? I feel like people are attributing like these long battles to like me thinking a lot and such, but like I'm pretty confident my plays like within a good 30 seconds. It's always my opponents that are spending so long. Last week it was Sam putting me through a whole bunch of editing work, and now Caden too. Alright, so he goes into Delphox. Interesting enough, what could he run on this? He could be running Grass Knot. If that's the case, it's not going to do much. He could be running Thunderbolt. I am +2. So we'll say he's Scarf, Modest Scarf, I believe we determined before. Fire Blast is not going to do much, so for the sake of this, we're going to say he's got Thunder. Straight up Thunder. And Grass Knot. The only sorts of moves, I don't know if Delphox even gets access to these moves. Let's take a look. But these are the only moves that would really potentially hurt me, especially given we know Shadow Ball before. So, it gets access to Grass Knot. What about Thunder? No. Okay, well, Grass Knot would do that much damage, but we're at +2 special defense, so that's possible 5-hit KO. Alright, so I have one more Sleep Talk turn. I did the calcs. Grass Knot's going to do a lot. If he gets a crit, it won't even kill me. It would obviously set me back, and then an uncrit on the next turn. Well, I don't even know if that's a word. Probably not. Wouldn't do anything, but so yeah, we just Sleep Talk here. He's Psyshocks. That is 24%. That is doing nothing. You get the rest. Not too big of a deal. I do want to make sure we stay healthy for Tyrantrum. So actually, he could. Yeah, he's going to Psyshock again because he's Choice Scarf. If he goes into Tyrantrum here, he has a chance to KO me with Head Smash if he's Choice Band, I believe. However, I am awake. Wow, he has a great chance to KO me. He let him power up Suicune. Too funny. Yeah, his really only play here is to go into Tyrantrum. I don't know if he's Scarf or Banned. If he's Banded, he can kill me. He'll probably kill me. If he's Scarf, he doesn't kill me, and then I kill him and kind of win. But I did want to be a little bit healthier if he brings out Tyrantrum than I am now. He just sacrificed that. He could have maybe tried to sacrifice it at some point later on. It is useful to have like Death Fodder, like in Lapras in this case, but I don't know if he's running Defog. Actually, no, he's not running Defog on Gligar. He's probably got an interesting Gligar set. He could outspeed me with Gligar and maybe go for knockoff to get rid of my leftovers. He might just go into Gardevoir here. No, he finally goes into this. So here it is. Now I think to myself, could I win this game without Suicune? If he's Choice Banded, he could KO me here. If not, he can only KO me if he gets a critical hit, because an Adamant Choice Scarf Tyrantrum max attack does around 49%, I believe. And if I don't have Suicune, I can just go into Jirachi after this turn, or I can go into Hitmonlee and click Close Combat. Yeah, I can still win this game without Suicune. And he's not even Choice Band. He's not even Choice Band. So after leftovers, I think we actually take a Psychic or a Psyshock. No, he doesn't have Psyshock on Gardevoir. Oh, or a Moonblast from Gardevoir. So I can actually rest on the next turn. And I also know that I outspeed him. So I think Scald KOs this. Scald definitely KOs this. This is Gligar. +2. Yeah. Even if he's Max Spadef. Even if he's Max Spadef, we KO, so. Oh, he outspeeds. That's too funny. If he had knockoff, that would have been the play. I'm at 20%. The question is, do I KO this? Yes, I do. So, again, Suicune is cleaning up. And I believe that is a 6-0. So GG to Caden. At the end, this was 6-0, but really, if you had gotten rid of Suicune, this would have been a much closer match. So it was a lot closer for a lot more of the game than it shows in the results. But that was a fun game. That was a very mental game. I really appreciate it. So good stuff to Caden. And we are now 11-2. So we have clinched a playoff spot for sure. I think we are that much closer to clinching the #1 playoff spot. But yeah, it should be fun. Next week we're going up against a person who is currently 9-3, I think, who is in this in contention for the #4 playoff spot, and definitely a challenging opponent. So look forward to that battle. But until then, this has been Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.